Meat's back on the menu.
Starting over is a fantasy most of us can only dream of.
You righteous, reckless, twitchy little man.
I always keep my promises, Alana.
Our destiny.
If you play, you pay.
A way that no one ever has.
The cannibals. Is there some connection between Lecter and Will and Buffalo Bill, maybe? Look where you are. Dangerous.
Previously on Hannibal.
And you weren't paying attention.
I pay lots of attention.
Technically, you killed him.
I promise. And I always keep my promises.
It's him to know that you are marked in this particular way.
Why?
Why do you think?
You're not fooling anybody.
Who holds the devil, let him hold him well. He will hardly be caught a second time.
Ding dong, the dragon's dead.
You have faith.
You're supposed to share any relevant information you find on Hannibal Lecter with the FBI.
This is our design.
Are we obligated to talk? Not used to hearing voices.
This is all I ever wanted for you, Will. For both of us.
If I survive, I promise to be true to myself.
Will.
It's beautiful.
Will.
Am I ever going to get rid of you?
Not that easily, I'm afraid. If I'm going to assist you to your feet, Will, do you promise me that you will not drive the both of us off land again?
Just help me up. Where are we going?
With me.
No, no, no.
You cannot quit on me now. For both of us.
We need to go someplace.
We must go, Hannibal.
Let's go.
Where are we going?
Hang on.
Only stop
shitting me.
Hannibal has ran away with his obsession. The Red Dragon is dead, thanks to Tattle Crime's murder husbands.
Hannibal isn't dead?
Neither. So Graham.
I am not going to shoot you. That would be kicking a dog when it is dying.
I still haven't paid you back for the last time yet. Help Hannibal first.
How is Will?
Will is fine. He requested that I help you first.
Did you give him anesthesia for his pain?
Are you concerned for him?
Will, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling just great. I just love getting punctured full of holes by madmen. Get that away from me, or I'll push you back in the sea.
I'm sorry, Will. We could forget the anesthesia and go with patching your face, if you would like.
You really are a monster. I can't believe you're still standing.
I am standing here the same as you are sitting there, Will. I could not have left you to the sea, neither could I have left the story where it had dropped off.
Can't live with him. Can't live without him.
Fully a Dirks.
Where do we go from here? Now that I finally see, now that I've thrown the last 3 years away.
Have you not reconsidered those 3 years that I had given you were for your own good? To see the teacup finally pull itself together. Those years were not wasted, and you do see. We give back to them what they want. But most importantly, what is it that you want? Will.
I'm still deciding what I want and what I need. You say you allowed me to have my 3 years. Is that why you sent Laura to hide after Molly and Willy? Was it you cutting my 3 years so that I would come back to you for definite?
I know you do not want to trust me, but now would be the best time.
Just drug me and get it over with. I think my face has fallen off.
Allow that time. Lay back and relax. It was not cutting your life, Will. This was my inability to prove what it is like to let go and to take the fall.
I had my suspicions that you would come back. Hannibal.
I'm surprised that for someone like yourself had taken a leap of sacrifice. What really convinced you to stay around? Did you choose to for the fear of consequence?
I had chosen to, simply because I was left with no other option. I preferred that the both of us could settle the odds with the price deal of a clean cut.
How do you taste?
Overcooked.
Hannibal? Fuck, that hurts.
Good morning, Will. You are just in time for breakfast. You look well. Do you feel well?
Who is that?
I'd assume the anesthesia has worn off by now, and you are in need of a shower.
You're free for all of 5 minutes and you decide your first act of freedom is going to be murder and cannibalism? Yes, it has worn off. I feel like I fought a dragon and fallen to my death from a cliff.
Well, that is to be expected, as you had.
You know what? I don't even want to know who it is. I'm too hungry to care. And a shower. Wait, a bath. That would be great.
It is long pig, roasted in a fine layer of butter. Toasted vegetables and a parmesan and green herb mix. A cranberry vinaigrette created from minced cranberry and pomegranate. It means to bring out the flavor of the meat if you wish. To drink, a big amount. The bath is always an option. However, let us eat, and we shall deal with the importance of other needs after.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Where are we going? We obviously can't stay here. Especially if you've killed someone.
We will be going to London, England. I suspect that this is our only option at this moment.
Why London? And what do you do about passports?
We have until tomorrow evening to prepare ourselves, Will. I am going to call for flight assistance, order both of us a plane. Before this time tomorrow, we are going to London and we shall leave Jack Crawford and the others behind us. Art is the only way to run away without leaving home.
And who are we going to be when we're there?
Leave your curiosity to me. In other words, you mustn't stress, Will. After all is said and done, you could adopt the name of your choice, whereas I will adopt the name of my uncle Robertus, with the last name of Grey. I assure you that everything's going to fall into place. You have my word, Will.
Can I have that bath now?
Yes, you may. Would you be needing assistance?
I think I'll be fine. Not that I'll be able to call you if I start drowning in the tub.
I could give you another shot of anesthesia after your bath if you would like, Will. Excuse me.
Are we going to be staying together, or are you going to get rid of me as soon as we get there?
Together? Yes. I won't be getting rid of you anytime soon, Will.
Don't worry. I'm going for that bath. Do you want me on the bed?
Yes, I would like you on the bed.
How big do you think the scar will be? Only I don't want more attention on me than I've already got.
The scar, I'm afraid, is going to take a long while to appear normally, Will. You could perhaps grow a bit of beard or go for a more feminine route. Stage makeup should cover it wisely. For I advise you let the wound heal and air out. Before we begin, would you like anesthesia?
No, just go for it. I was thinking about what we said earlier about being who I want while in London. I'm going to take my mother's surname. William George Moreau has a nice ring to it, no?
I think so. What of your family, Will? You could write to them and explain to your wife that you will be leaving out of state. That you and I will be living together, however, I could sign as Robertus.
No, I don't want to involve Molly anymore. She and Willy will be fine without me. She'll find someone that she's deserving of, and they will move on. I had my 3 years, and I'm happy with that.
We could turn the page, Will. I only want to help you.
No one needs a letter. I want to hope they think I'm already dead.
All I've ever wanted was for you to be happy, Will. If this is what you want, so be it.
This is what I want.
You don't deserve a death. You do deserve a palace. A palace of glass and stone. Of clear waters stretching from here to the horizon, where every good memory shall play on. A beautiful orchestra, Will. I'm going to construct it for you, I promise. Wait and see.
Should I be telling you how romantic you are?
Who could possibly think that even the darkest of places could not reveal such light? I am quite capable of romance.
You haven't slept, have you?
You are right, I have not rested.
Here I am complaining about my face, and you haven't even rested.
Let us both rest, Will. I shall see you in the morning.
Good night, Hannibal.
Jack, you need to see this.
Hannibal. He left her as a parting gift.
We should have known he wouldn't go down without a final act of cruelty. Bedelia was his last connection to us. But my gut tells me it couldn't have been him.
Bedelia warned us that Hannibal was still out there. He wants us to know he's still out there, to keep us on edge. But why Bedelia?
She was his pawn until the end. A reminder that he's always one step ahead. I just can't begin to imagine that Hannibal has Will Graham.
Unless we're dealing with a copycat. We can't let Hannibal continue this game. God only knows how many serial killers out there he's influenced.
What if he's beyond our grasp?
Then we do whatever it takes.
We'll find him, Jack. We have to.
Wake-up call. It's far better than hearing the alarms blaring in my sleep.
Good morning, Will. This is everything but the main course. An appetizer, if you will.
Oh, then I hate to imagine what might be the main course.
The fall and lost time. Others might say that I am inspired. Inspiration is my utmost favorite place to journey to as my mind searches for peace.
So what's the plan for today?
I have packed things already for this evening. All there is left to do is call for a flight to be prepared. We are looking to leave this place by no later than 8 o'clock.
All right, also, could I get some painkillers for this? Nothing too strong.
I have aspirin, if you wish I could get this for you.
Tylenol?
Aspirin 5 milligrams per capsule.
This is going to touch the pain, because if I remember rightly, this stuff never helped me back when I was having headaches and hallucinations. It just got me addicted.
It will assist in taking the edge off, unless you prefer morphine. However, aspirin should do for now. Would you like to help me cook?
I can help if you really want me to, but I'm no good at cooking, you should know this. Well, what are you making?
Cheese and ham omelette, Montgomery cheddar, finely chopped ham from a miniature pig Mason had left over and diced, seasoned potatoes. I could offer to help you to cook. It is fairly simple. Cooking does not necessarily always have to be an art. I had transferred my love for anatomy to culinary.
Yes.
Alas, thought that the patience is fetch.
I'm a difficult student, prone to rebellious outbursts. So, you have everything sorted then? Is it just us two going? Or is she coming too?
It is going to be just us. I had not intended for Chiyo to take leave she would not wish to anyhow, I presume.
She didn't want to leave your home either, but she did. This is a shame you won't see the gift I left you there.
Gift? Your coffee.
Thank you. I've missed this stuff.
Have you found me interesting yet?
What would you say if I said no? I told you that I finally found you interesting when I got out of the Baltimore hospital for the criminal insane and resumed therapy with you. I wasn't lying. And if I didn't find you interesting, then why the hell would I travel across half of the world looking for you?
I would assume that you were, then. I would have liked to hear you say that I interest you, Will. That you had come back on your own terms. That you hadn't wasted the poem in which the killer had written you. I declared your safety. I had warned you, Will. Yet here you sit before me now. Precisely like the same day that you had told me you had not found me interesting. But you do.
Yes, I ached to travel across the world to find you. I found you in everything I looked at, in everything that I touched. Hannibal. I traveled because I wanted to see you. I partly regretted not leaving with you. Hell, I even told Jack that I had wanted to leave with you. But then there was always that part of me that hated you for what you had done, or at least I thought. When I saw your broken heart, I decided that I didn't hate you at all. I had forgiven you already, but we played this game of trying to kill each other too much, and yes, I fucked up again. I finally see what I should have seen those years ago you showed me. I didn't want to see then, but I do now. It's beautiful.
You're my design.
This is our design. Les Deux. Not that I'm saying we're mad.
The best of us all are mad. You have convinced yourself that the lion is not in the room. And by doing this, I've convinced myself the same of the lamb. Prey often make the best hunters. You are hard to avoid, and I apologize in this case. Shall we finish our breakfast, Will?
If that's what you want.
Well, Bedelia, old pal, you always did have a flair for the dramatic. Well, hand me the bone saw. Let's make this a party. Looks like we've got some artistic flair with these wounds. Hannibal's signature, I presume.
Couldn't just go quietly, could you?
Cause of death, Hannibal Lecter's lingering influence. Time of death, whenever he decided to cut ties.
Oh, messy guy. That Hannibal Lecter.
Wrap it up, and let's give Bedelia the send-off she deserves. I hear severed arteries are all the rage these days.
If she wanted a last hurrah, she definitely got it.
They're out there somewhere, searching for us.
Yes. While they might be out there searching, they will not easily find us here. We are secluded.
Easy for you to say. You have a habit of inviting old friends to dinner.
Will, I'm going to be calling flight assistance now. Do you have everything that you need?
I didn't have anything with me for a start. That's all at home with my ex-wife.
Yes, that is correct. Thank you. You have a pleasant afternoon.
What did they say?
We are to be prepared to leave by flight at 8. I have already purchased passports. Now it is a matter of your name, which will be made eminent upon our arrival.
That doesn't surprise me. You're a veteran at this, right? Forever on the run. Forever taking on new aliases. So what name have you had put on the passport? We agreed on mine the other night, right?
I had informed the company that you had wanted the name William George Morrell when I had mentioned my own. A bank account has been opened under my name, Robertus Gray. There is an abundance of money being sent in, peer-to-peer from my very own trust fund, however. This cannot be traced back to me. For after when we move, there will be a history of my birth name, yet not any proof holding Hannibal accountable of the transaction.
You know, even if we make it to London in one piece, Uncle Jack will come hunting. He's been hunting you for years. And now he probably blames you for snatching me away.
Uncle Jack will always think of you as a fragile little teacup. Jack Crawford is the tea as I am the hand holding you in, Will. If you break again, I have no choice but to pull you back together, as I have myself. However, if and when you fall, Jack will come rushing down. And I won't allow you to fall along with him. You have my word, Will.
Good, because I never said I would fall again, Hannibal. I think I'll get falling the rest of a while. Especially from cliffs. I only meant that we won't be able to live in peace while he hunts. If he comes, I won't hesitate to kill. It would be a shame, but he has always been rather needy. I'm sure he thought of me as the son he never had at one point, but he pushed and pushed and pushed. Children, pets. He also never pushed too much.
He has every right to blame me. Do not feel misconstrued. I will let him, for it was in my intention to have you standing here before me now.
It's a shame we don't have more time. I would have liked to have taken care of a person or two before leaving. And again, as much as I hate her, I wouldn't want to deprave you of your favorite journalist and her sham blog.
The lamb is becoming a lion, and I knew that you would rise despite your timid nature, Will.
She snuck into my damn hospital room and stuck a naked picture of me in with that article. Tasteless. But from the looks of it, we have everything packed.
That we do. We are leaving and tattle crime will be no more. No more than a paper in Lounds history. Interesting. The murder husbands of Baltimore. I admit in partaking of the pleasure that I am certain that both of us had had with the Red Dragon. Needless to say, Crawford would not enjoy being the one for slaughter when you and I drive the weapons home and enjoy a meal in gratification, Will. Now you and I will be playing games with ourselves on the dark side of the moon.
Those sons of bitches.
I am quite proud of how things are coming to be. We will be arriving at the airport within the next hour, so it will be best to leave now, for it is already nearing 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Going my way?
I guess so.
Have you had any contact with Hannibal Lecter in the last 24 hours?
He didn't make his session this morning, and he didn't call in, which he would consider rude. Is something wrong?
I'm on my way to Minnesota. I believe that Will Graham has taken Hannibal Lecter to Minnesota.
Will thinks he's being framed for these murders. He's slipping in and out of delusion. He could kill Hannibal and not even know he's doing it.
If anyone could have helped Mr. Graham, it would have been Hannibal. In fact, he may still be trying.
Going to London is like that one time we went to Minnesota. You gave me the chance to run then. In fact, you gave me several. this was my idea? What if this time I'm taking you along for the ride, Hannibal? What if? Hello?
Will?
Yes.
Will?
Good evening. Step towards the desk for me and look straight ahead. I'll be taking your picture.
Passports, please. All right, sirs, you have seats B6 and B7.
May I have your attention,
Right this
please?
way.
For security reasons, please keep your baggage and personal items with you at all times. Unattended baggage will be removed.
Which would you prefer?
Oh, I don't mind. You can have the window if you want.
I thought perhaps you would have liked the view. Do you ever miss it?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening. Thank you for boarding with 𝐓𝐡𝐞 �WIZZCOM �WIZZCOM. This is your pilot speaking. Please be sure to leave all electronics off. This includes and is not limited to cell phones,
Abigail.
laptops, or any other mechanical devices.
At times I recall her as one with their own daughter. Abigail played a role as a surrogate daughter to you. Did she not, Will? I know that I have said it before, but I am truly sorry for the things in which I have done. Hopefully our time together will heal old wounds, and in its loss, create room for finer things. I could not bear to lose you again, Will. It had been a plan for you, I and Abigail, to leave together. However, I admit to becoming angry, striving for you to see me. You are correct about changing me, Will. You've opened a door I had only let you in. I can see when all of these years I've been asking you if you could see too.
I've already told you that I forgive you. You must know I think about her all the time. We still fish together sometimes. In my mind palace.
How's the weather where you fish, Will?
The weather is always perfect for fishing.
Put yourself in my shoes for once, Will.
Isn't that what I've been doing? I just think that logic prevails, Hannibal. We should return back to Baltimore. I can't get used to this.
And what would you be having trouble getting used to, Will?
I mean, sitting at the head of the table, killing. This isn't my place, this food isn't in my creation, and I changed my mind. We should go back.
Good evening. Robertus Gray speaking. I presume you have taken your heart, sensitive to the matter, in calling me to inform of Molly?
There's a lot more to this story than meets the eye, Hannibal.
You are leading me to make an assumption of you. I do not suggest you do anything reckless. What is the true reason of your calling me? And what is your name, sir?
What was that about?
It was regarding your son. He has been placed into an orphanage.
What do you mean an orphanage?
Will.
What? Who was on the phone? What have you done?
Your son is safe, I assure you, Will. Alas, Molly isn't. An older man by the name of Jamie had left for their home with murderous intentions. The man knew me by name, and I am unsure of how. I'm sorry, Will. An old patient has had a taste for human remains he found Molly glorious and satisfactory. The police, including Jack Crawford, had been informed of the noise and yet were unsuccessful in capturing Jamie. As for Willy, I am proud to say he survived and had given as much detail to Jack as he could, and had even said Albert mentioned Hannibal and Dad. We shall make a plan, you and I. Invite him into our home before I can make sure that you see your son.
Once again, it seems you fucked whatever link I have other than you. Are you really that concerned, Hannibal? No, of course not. He isn't leaving that orphanage because as long as he's there, he's safe from people like you.
Will.
Don't you fucking touch me. Don't you fucking touch me.
Will. I care far more than you could ever understand the situation.
Is not in my hands. I could not have had anything to do with it.
This is what I want. Now go. This is not how you imagine fitting here. You will need to lean your arm out into the other direction. Be sure your fingers apply firm pressure. We do not wish to cut you sleep.
Jimmy went back to have a look at the crime scene to dust for prints since our new vec happened to be skinned.
Yeah.
The photographer caught some snapshots. Bedelia had been murdered. It's clear her body had been decomposing for about 3 days, Jack. She's been set up in a way that only Hannibal himself could set up. But our new victim is a day apart.
He wasn't finished. He had one last thing to do, and that was Bedelia Maurier.
Which could only mean that Hannibal hadn't came back. If Hannibal returned.
That would mean that he did not bring Will Graham.
And that would mean that Will Graham.
Hannibal had left with Will Graham, yes, Alana. We know this had already happened.
But what the problem is that we've run into is that Jimmy Price had pulled up Hannibal Lecter's records. And there is not one solitary thing on him.
What do you mean? Not one solitary thing?
Well, what I mean is that he's still in the system as Hannibal Lecter. But his records state that he is deceased.
As for Will?
He's deceased, too.
I doubt that, Alana. What did Jimmy say on the matter?
Jimmy said that he had a suspicion that the two left for someplace secluded, less likely to be caught. That there had even been the possibility that both Will Graham and Hannibal Lecter changed their names.
God forbid they keep their names and their originality.
You could explain the trust fund that Hannibal had made on transfer, Jack.
I want to know exactly where this trust fund was sent and to who. I'm getting dressed. I'll be up at the lab within the next 30 minutes.
This was a conversation recorded and sent to this phone. You might want to have a listen to it.
That is Grace speaking.
You know who I am, Dr. Lecter. It sits in the hall as we speak.
I presume you have taken your heart, sensitive to the matter, in calling me to inform of Molly?
There's a lot more to this story than meets the eye, Hannibal.
You are leading me to make an assumption of you. I do not suggest you do anything reckless. What is the true reason of your calling me?
I'm just continuing my legacy.
And what is your name, sir?
Albert Howard Hayden.
Continuing his legacy?
Starting to sound like my dead brother. What legacy is he trying to continue?
According to the wiki website, Hayden is the last name O, an alias used back in the early 1900s by a man formerly known as Albert Fish. His name, however, hadn't been Albert Fish, but indeed Hamilton Howard Fish. Albert Howard Hayden.
Just how did he know how to get into contact with Hannibal?
You are leading me to make an assumption of you. I do not suggest you do anything reckless. What is the true reason of your calling me?
It was a feisty one. She had to go first. She makes for a wonderful, warm interior. I'm sure you're familiar with cannibalism, Hannibal, but are you so familiar with decoration as your trophies? I couldn't get to their son in time, sadly. I only wanted to show you what beautiful works of art I could make out of these two, as I have seen be made from you and Will Graham.
Wait, this Albert guy, he had murdered Molly? Graham's wife?
It seems like it.
I've heard absolutely nothing on her murder, or of Willy. If Molly had to have been killed, then Willy would have been taken to the orphanage, considering his lack of parents.
Then this was a bait call.
This was a warning from one of Hannibal's patients to inform Lecter of what is about to take place. If anything, if Albert is going to continue this legacy of his, then he would have to have a far better reason to kill Molly in the first place. Considering Albert Fish was a child rapist and cannibal. Unless...
The way this sounds, correct me if I am wrong, but the way this sounds is that he has possibly taken Willy and left Molly and had told Hannibal that he had murdered her and Willy is safe.
That's true, actually. Now we're looking at something dark about to take place, and this is no longer Hannibal Lecter or Graham we are looking at here.
The recording mentioned Mr. Gray. Evidently, this Mr. Gray is our Hannibal Lecter.
Did you look up the trust fund transfer like I requested?
Oh yes, I did. Hannibal Lecter signed for his trust fund to be sent to a bank in London, England. Signed to Robertus Gray.
Jimmy, you're a genius.
Say the word, and I will invite Jamie.
You are the last person that I want to talk to right now. Willy is staying where he is. I am not having another kid around you. Killing Jamie wouldn't fix what you've done. Was he an ex-patient, another person whose head you messed with?
Yes, Will. Jamie's an ex-patient.
Hannibal fucking Lecter, the collector, the deranged, and the lonely. We're all just another name on your list.
Will, I did not bring harm nor death to Molly Graham. Killing Jamie might not settle the odds, but if you would like to bring that knife to my throat, I will bring the knife to your door. Do it, Will. Kill me.
You brought a death when you did nothing to stop a man you knew was a killer. I hate you, but I won't kill you. I'll let this Jamie do it. It's the most you deserve.
I knew you did not have it in you, Will. You do not bring harm to those you love, even if I see you and have brought out your darkness to embrace it. I am not going to allow for Jamie to kill me. You ought to do this yourself, Will. If you choose to leave me to my own devices as Jack Crawford has left you, you would be walking away. But you would be leaving a part of you with me, Will. In return, you would be more damaged than you've ever been. You would not be able to live without me. Alas, if Jamie chose to kill me, or you shall allow it to occur, the remaining of your life would be in containment, within the seclusion of a penitentiary. After all is said and done, I am sorry, Will.
Chilton wants us to meet him at the hospital, right?
Yeah, he's stuck on a ventilator, but he also believes he has crucial information regarding Hayden.
If Chilton can give us any lead on Hayden's whereabouts, it might be worth it.
We can't afford to overlook any potential sources, so it's a chance we gotta take.
I just hope Chilton has something more than wishful thinking this time.
Hannibal left Bedelia as a message. We need to find Hayden first before more damage is done.
I might have to send Margot. I received a call from Freddie Lounds.
She's alive.
Seems Hannibal had forgotten all about our little tattle crime journalist.
He wants to be found. I'll call Margot.
Bring your lover.
Alana couldn't make it this evening.
Now, Jack, we know the game works.
Jack?
Alana called in, told me she couldn't make it. What game are we talking about here, Chilton?
I'm talking about the Red Dragon.
The Red Dragon is dead and gone. I'm surprised he didn't take you along with him.
Very fortunate, Jack. But if the plug is pulled, I'd be winning the lottery.
You are fortunate, I agree. But somehow I feel you might know a lot more than what you've been letting on. Chilton, what can you tell me about Albert Howard Hayden?
Hayden.
Hey, little cheaper. I'll be right there. Can I help you with that?
Would you?
Sure.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, push it all the way there.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Hey, say, are you about a size 14?
Sorry.
You know, someone I once thought that I knew sat where you are now sitting. Not saying that I know you, but I do know what kind of situation this is.
Chiyo? You know?
Like I was saying, the last person that was in here was telling the truth. Now, it's your turn to tell me the truth. Did you kill those two women, James Gum?
Jamie.
Lily Andrews and Bethany Campbell ring a bell? The team and I ran some tests. For Campbell and Andrews both, your prints were on them.
Who's that?
Bethany Campbell. Why are you laughing?
That woman? I don't remember touching her. She's not my style.
What do you mean by that, Gum? It's not your design. Not your type of woman. What do you mean by that?
What I mean is, I usually go for the plump ladies or one strolling parking lots with a bag on their arm. Women like that there. Hey, you're the special agent, aren't you? You figured out I didn't touch anyone.
I know what I am doing. If this is your attempt at getting away with any of this, that's where you are wrong. And by court standards, Jamie Gum, you are guilty until proven otherwise. Now I want to know the truth. If your prints weren't on this woman, where were you on the 29th of October, that evening?
I was at home feeding my dog, Precious.
So these two women, you didn't kill them. Then where's Molly Graham?
He got away. If it weren't for the murder husbands of Baltimore, you would have found it. Your answer.
Hi, Jack. Mr. Gum. I'm Freddie Lounds. I work with Title Crime.
It's all yours.
I think I know what the situation was. Or how your prints could have ended up on Bethany Campbell. Is this her here? You said you didn't touch her?
I never touched it.
Tell me. Jamie?
Yeah, anything.
Do you know anything at all about the Great Red Dragon? Murder husbands of Baltimore. The Hobbs case? The Minnesota Shrike? The Chesapeake Ripper?
What about them?
I tell you what, you tell me what you know about the Red Dragon, and I'll try my very best to help you out of this case. Because I realize you were just under the influence. Just like Will Graham.
So let me get this straight. I tell you about the Great Red Dragon and you try to drop my charges? Sounds a bit risky.
Matthew Brown was risky.
Well, if we're going to talk about the Great Red Dragon, I might as well tell you what happened, so you can figure out how this case of mine can be dropped.
Please do so.
I was there when Bethany Campbell was murdered. I helped a man kill her, but I did not string her up. No, this was a man under the influence of another. Now, Matthew Brown, he sent this man after me and he ran it on and on. about how Matthew told him about hawks or the birds and how they just flock together. But with him phased, I simply delivered the meaty details to Hannibal himself.
Meaty details?
Well, her brain.
A piece of her mind. I see. But why help him?
Mr. Porter? That Hayden guy. Guess it was because he informed me that he knew the Red Dragon personally.
So, still nothing on Molly?
I'm just a tabloid journalist who escaped Hannibal's lair. Just like Bedelia.
Bedelia's dead, Lounds.
Oh, is she? Since when?
A month ago.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? Listen, I know that we got off on the wrong foot all those years ago, but I am willing to help you out here. If I can also get some details on the case with Jamie Gum.
Former patient of Hannibal's.
So, then why isn't he in a mental institution?
You don't just shove someone into a mental institution when all they want is a sex change.
That it? You don't think that Jamie murdered those women? Or kidnapped Molly? Or Molly's son?
We don't have any evidence. All that was discovered at the scene is Jamie Gum's blood. Right now, Jamie's been incarcerated for questioning. We didn't actually identify anything. Outside of the fact that he was injured.
You know, they were right.
What about?
You do. Equal ground.
You've been released, Jamie.
Jamie, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Who the hell is this Albert Howard Hayden? And why has he been confused with me?
Maybe I know a little more about Albert than one could guess I'd know about the Chesapeake Ripper a few years ago. But nothing you might find substantial. Even if I could tell you everything there is to know about Hayden, you'd probably wring me dry on information about Hannibal Lecter, too.
I heard all there is to know about the murder husbands. Now I want to know all there is to know about Albert Howard Hayden.
Is there a specific reason that you might want me to find out all about him for you? I really don't feel up to the chase in terms of risking my life for a possible sentence behind bars. If I were to get this information, it will cost you.
It cost you more. However, bring me the information on Albert Hayden. And I'll be sure to bring you in on the case of Molly Graham. I'll also protect you with my life.
Of course. I've been looking for another story to add into Tattle Crime. You have my word. I'll find out all the information that I can to bring this man to justice.
Good. You gotta feel up for eating your dinner yet?
Mr. Gum, please come inside. I understand that you have a penchant for sewing.
Yeah, I'm good with my hands. I make dresses.
Dresses? What kind of dresses?
You know, pretty ones. For women. I want to be a woman.
And why is that, Gum?
Well, women don't get hurt the way men do. You're not afraid.
Fear is a powerful motivator, Gum. But it can also be a prison.
People laugh at me, Dr. Lecter. They think I'm weird.
Society can also be cruel and judgmental. But you have a choice. You can let the opinions of others dictate your life, or you can rise above them.
How do I do that?
Embrace who you are, no matter how unconventional. The power to define yourself lies within. Our time is up for today, Gum. Remember, the path to self-discovery is often a difficult one.
to Dhavernas Gray. We have been aware of the new arrivals of neighbors within the environment. A close friend and I have invited you and whomever of your choice to come to our social gathering at Clarice's. This evening at 8 o'clock. We'll be having a grand time. Hope to see you both there.
What's that?
An invitation. We've been invited to a social gathering at Claridge's.
This was in our mailbox. Brandon Abram?
I'm uncertain.
That's a first. Hearing that you don't know who someone is. Aren't you supposed to know about everybody and everything?
New place, new surroundings.
Does the social gathering require me to wear a suit?
Supposedly. Would this mean that we'd be attending?
What do you think, Hannibal?
I think simply because you do not wish to wear a suit, you'd more than likely not wish to go. Correct?
And leave me here. On my own, not familiar with my surroundings, let alone what to do on my first reaction of an unstable hallucination again. Then no, I may not wish to go. But that doesn't mean I won't just because I have to wear a damn suit.
Then you and I shall visit the tailors this afternoon to prepare for Claridge's this evening, Will. I believe there will be enough in my account to afford the both of our suits and whatever else required. A well-tailored person's suit.
Yeah. Are you telling him I've gained a few pounds over the weekend or have lost it?
I think you've lost it. 92.3 centimeters, which would make your waist around 36.3 inches. I'd say we'd be able to find you a nice-looking suit this afternoon. What do you say?
That depends. I think it's a bit much, but I cannot complain.
Do not like it. I thought the brown would look brilliant, would bring out your complexion a bit.
If the shoe fits, wear it. Give me the suit. And I'll try it on.
I had thought that the suit would look nice on you. Lo and behold, just as I had imagined. Come look.
I think this suit fits you better than the one in Florence.
I'll take it.
No, stay here. I told him that he could go play with his toy plane while I talked to Mommy. I see your face like this almost every day. Do you really miss him that much?
Yeah. I can say that I do. I often wonder if he misses me too, or if maybe I'm overthinking it. Drawing more into it than there should be.
Alana, Will has moved on. Just think of him being happy and actually doing something with his life.
I warned Jack not to let him close. I should really be blaming him for everything.
Don't blame Jack. Don't even blame yourself. If Jack hadn't let Will close on the case, nothing would have led to this.
Thank you. Jimmy, I told you I want off the case.
Bedelia Maurier is dead. Hannibal went by to pick up a rather delicious turkey leg from the dining fare.
What? I highly doubt that.
Oh yeah, I know just how this sounds, Alana. I doubt it too. But knowing Hannibal, once he has tasted flesh, it's common courtesy to go back for seconds. Thirds, even.
Where is he?
You know, we really don't know. I just got back from the crime scene and saw what the photographer had caught on a few snapshots. After uploading them and blowing them up, we both saw that there was more evidence leading to Hannibal. I mean, it only makes sense that it was Hannibal. Why wouldn't it be? The only thing that would make this twice as strange is I had looked up records of Hannibal Lecter, and there was not one solid Hannibal Lecter in our database. Well, maybe one, but the last time I saw Hannibal, well, he wasn't African.
It was Hannibal.
I thought I'd inform you, you know, maybe even convince you to look into the problem further. We all miss you down here, Alana. You're our favorite bean.
I don't know. I'll get in touch with Jack. Tell him what I can of the case and get back into touch with you. Jimmy went back to have a look at the crime scene. Bedelia has been murdered. It's clear her body has been there now for about 3 days, Jack. Jimmy informed me of this before hanging up. I believe it was Hannibal. She's missing both legs. Damned if we do. Damned if we don't.
I may have never been the best father. But the way our son would turn to look at me when he didn't feel all his best when I had instructed him to, had always got to me. It led me to speak to Hannibal, like I would have loved for my father to speak to me. Even though Molly and I are separated, I can't help but feel that Willy and I never will be.
Turn around, please, and look at me, Will.
I felt the pliers cut me free, and I swivel around to face him, hoping you could not see the hurt expression upon my face that I was afraid would be so visible.
Listen to me.
There was something sitting in the back of my head. Eyes that clawed and tugged at my neck. Sharp nails dragging at hair in an attempt to pull back my head. My throat tightening. Saliva gagging me. Acidic almost. It was a harsh rush of breath from my nostrils that soon felt too tight to breathe through. And since my lips had been closed, then my lungs clenched as airflow flawed, growing to a halt. I don't remember ever being looked at so intensely in my lifetime.
Take a breath.
And so any time that I felt the portal of everybody's eyes observing me, I closed mine and counted to 10.
Wade into the quiet of the stream.
And wade into the quiet of the stream. I heard my voice as I had heard his. 2, I moved my lips. 3, his voice came again as mine had.
You can make it all go away.
By this time, the glow intensified. I felt my toes curl within my boots while water flowed out from the great and dark distance. 4, I exhaled, and the harsh light swung in front of my view, revealing to me somebody standing there, so far out of reach. 5, I could feel fingers pressing into my knee. But when they had, there was a numb, tingling sensation that sent my body into a sort of non-recognition.
What do you see, Will?
6, 7. I saw the shadow moving closer. I tried to walk through the pitch black and murky water, sloshing around the toes of my boots as I called out into the distance with my mind, to the best of my ability. The shadow must have heard me. She came walking faster than before, as though drawn to my voice like a moth to a flame. I could see the pendulum swing by my focus again, but this time she was only 3 feet away. 8. The shadow revealed herself to me. Her bloody hands reached out and gripped my shoulders before I could even catch up to who it was. Molly? 10. This is my design.
Oh. You must be Mr. Gray.
I presume that you are the individual in whom sent out the invitations, Mr. Abel.
Yes, it is none other than I. And who might you be?
William Morrell, nice meeting you. Where's the men's room?
It will be right down that hallway in the back of me to the right.
Wind him up and watch him go.
All men staff, I have to say. It's rather brilliant and quite resourceful. Would you care to have women frolicking about in their evening wearing frills, or see a nice tall man of masculine grace?
Men and women alike make a resourceful breed, Mr. Abel. It's often discussed in media forums that women have a distinct housewife charm that I find appealing. I am sure that a man could hold a plate more steady than a woman. Alas, a woman can compose a plate as one would a fine wine.
My apologies. No need. I was just leaving. Do you have any whiskey?
Excuse me.
Of course.
Fruit, wine, cheese, and croutons, no whiskey.
I do have tiny tea cakes.
I'd asked for whiskey, and to be fair, this social gathering should have it. I don't see how you get away with simply drinking wine all of the time. Whiskey is far better for my health.
Whiskey is a stronger choice of poison. I wouldn't suggest it to a friend or colleague. Red wine is often said to cure some diseases, Will.
Such as?
Such as heart disease, diabetes, and liver problems.
It seems we do have whiskey. It's over there.
Thank you.
Hello. I see you were one of those lucky ones invited. You wouldn't mind if I'd chosen to sit next to you here now, would you, sir?
No, of course not.
Where'd you move here from, if you don't mind my asking?
France.
France? Amazing. I would have thought maybe someplace like Virginia.
Virginia? What would make you think that?
Well, for one, I am from West Virginia.
I've heard that a lot recently, to be honest. I have a few friends from Virginia, even some who live around Wolf Trap.
Wolf Trap, Virginia? I don't think I have heard of Wolf Trap that much, apparently. See, I'm here on study.
Oh, what do you study, if you don't mind me asking?
I work for the FBI. Are you all right?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I'm very sorry.
No, you're fine. Please, that was just unexpected.
It may have come to a bit of shock to you. It normally does to a lot of people.
I'm William Moreau.
Clarice Starling.
Nice to meet you, Clarice.
Nice to finally meet you as well, Mr. Moreau.
Call me William.
I see you've met William. We're here on a family trip, however. I didn't have the suspicion that we'd not be leaving by this morning. I am fortunate to have been invited to this friendly social event.
We are very glad to see you here, then. I'm Clarice Starling, former senior special FBI agent. Right now, I'm just on break. Decided to visit London for all that it had to offer.
This I'd completely understand, as did William and I. Pleased to meet you, Miss Starling. Robertus Gray.
Ladies and gentlemen, me and my friend, Clarice Starling, would like to thank you all for coming this evening. At Claridge's, we thought it would be a wonderful idea to have a social gathering consisting in the new and old of London, England. Whether you have just moved here or you've been here for decades, we'd like to congratulate Angelica Mason for making it this evening. She is with child. At last. May this evening be one to remember. And when you all return home to your loved ones, let's all hope that we have safe travels. But before any of this can happen, a wonderful dinner of roasted pig. Cheers.
Cheers. Hannibal?
I am sorry. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. I just need to find the men's room. Hannibal? Hannibal. Hannibal? Molly?
Don't come any closer.
Molly.
I came here because Willy is gone and I could not get into touch with you. I couldn't get into touch with Jack or anybody. What are you doing here? You made me believe that you were dead, Will. Dead.
Molly, lower your voice.
Freddie Lounds came to my doorstep. She brought me a folder with bold red headlines talking about this so-called murder husband business. So what's that about? Did you really run off with Hannibal? Are you honestly letting yourself get this close?
Molly.
Shut up. I want to know why you chose to leave without me. Knowing full well that we have a child, Will. We have a child. Our child. And you left me. I could have died. I could have died right then like I almost did when you left us that first time. What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I did everything in my power. I returned to Baltimore State Hospital. I had a plan.
What plan, Will? What plan? Riding off into the sunset with this man does this. Does this consist of your plan?
It wasn't in any of my intentions. When I pushed him off the cliff with me, Molly, I wanted badly to end it, to end us.
You, me, and Willy?
No, Molly. Hannibal. And me. It was my fault. My intentions weren't for any of this to happen. You have to listen to me, please. Molly, if you'd lower the gun, we can talk. Molly? Why?
You were just leaving, you said. This is your fault. You killed her yourself.
Where's Hannibal?
I'm afraid he can't help you.
You tell me where Hannibal is.
The game isn't over until the last man is standing, Will Graham.
How? Do you know my name?
Easy.
Wake up.
You shoot me. You go to prison.
You shoot me, I'll make sure you go to fucking prison and stay there.
Then why don't you shoot me then? You already have a record as long and as wide as the Red River.
Where's Hannibal?
I'm not telling you where Hannibal is.
You tell me where Hannibal is or I'll kill you where you stand. Molly. Molly, listen to me. Are you listening? I love you. I love you and I love Willy. Molly? What time is it?
4:14 in the evening. I had thought on your waking up later today, and not now.
The way you say it makes it sound like a relatively bad thing. I really had no intentions of waking up at all.
You were in a coma for an unfair amount of days, Will.
How long?
7. Not including this evening, if you were to be out then as well, it'd make up for the 8.
And you?
I've been in and out, to say the least. It appears that our nosy run-in with the special agent, Clarice Starling, had came to some good in what bad had happened last Saturday.
Are you referring to the woman at Claridge's Hannibal?
Yes, Will. Needless to say. Brandon could not have possibly settled things better than what you could have that evening.
What happened?
You killed a man. My intentions were to kill him for you. Yet you stood in the way of the target. By doing this, the bullet shot your temple, and I am immensely grateful that it had not traveled farther, or you would not be here today.
So what now, since I'm recovered? Am I going to be sentenced for murder?
No, your shooting Bill Avery was in defense to Molly.
Molly?
Bill Avery shot and murdered Molly. In turn, you shot and murdered Bill Avery the very instant I arrived after getting off of the phone with another man speaking in cryptic riddles. I took for the janitor's closet to find that the second shot you had fired. I fired as well. Avery had been knocked off balance and I had proceeded to watch as you kept firing your gun, bleeding profusely. Only then did I witness that I had indeed shot you, coincidentally as you had shot Bill Avery.
No, it was Molly's gun. She came to London under the impression that she could reach me. She was going to kill me, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. Freddie Lounds went to her door to deliver a few papers that Molly referred to as bold red headlines. I thought she was dead. That could only mean one thing, Hannibal.
You're right, Will. It was not Molly being tracked down and killed. There's a lot more to the story than what meets the eye.
It's Willy.
Your son is in danger. What's there to be done about that?
We find this man, we kill him.
Our Albert has been exceedingly rude, hasn't he, Will?
Even Stephen.
Clarice?
I thought it was done. Buffalo Bill took 7 women. He skinned 6. 6 of them. I saved 1. The last one. Katharine. It's been a year since I put it behind me. But last week, some of the families wanted to make statements. Close the book. Such a sad strange anniversary. I wanted to be present for the families of the victims. When I came out of justice, they're all just everywhere.
Sorry you had to see it this year, Clarice. It was left in my waiting area. Press can't seem to let you go.
Well, I suppose there are a few advantages, sir. The checkout lady at the Safeway asked me to autograph a melon.
I imagine it might cause real resentment with your colleagues. Famous face of the FBI just a year out of the academy.
Well, sometimes we duke it out at the vending machine. Not really. I feed data into computers. I'm what they call an Igor in the behavioral sciences lab. I'm not the face of anything, sir.
Well, this says differently. Buffalo Bill's House of Horrors. Will the survivors ever speak?
There were no survivors.
But you were a survivor.
I mean, to be a survivor, you have to be a victim. I was just doing my job.
Yeah, but it wasn't your job. You were still a trainee when you stopped Buffalo Bill from skinning and killing more women.
Excuse me, he killed them before.
Is that distinction important to you?
Yes, sir. It is important to me that he did not skin them alive.
Do you ever speak with her? Katharine Martin?
Not really sure what there would be to speak about, sir.
You keep in touch with the other victims' families. You write to them, you check in. But not Katharine.
Sir, I understand. It would be easier for everyone if I just became comfortable with the term survivor. I found most people need me to be just the one thing. Simple thing. So they can relax, I guess.
Clarice, you've been deflecting like a pro for a full year now.
Sir, I'm mandated to come here and speak with you and...
Which is understandable, given your last therapist was an inmate in a Baltimore hospital for the criminally insane and, you know, aid his patients.
He was not my therapist. It was a quid pro quo. He wanted
Pieces of your life in exchange for his insights into Buffalo Bill, but you were specifically told not to give him any information, Clarice.
We only had 3 days.
You let that relationship be intimate. How do you carry that? How do you carry his rage? Buffalo Bill's rage. I'll put it another way. What do you do with all your rage?
It's not really something I think about, sir.
Okay, Clarice. I'm going to tell you what I see. I see an agent who seems to be adopting the families of murdered women, but hasn't seen her own family in years. I see an agent who's buried herself in the basement of the behavioral sciences unit and rarely sees the light of day.
Well, that doesn't matter that much to me, really.
And I see an agent who just told me that she doesn't consider Katharine Martin to be alive, despite having saved her life. These things make me think this agent needs to be out of rotation until she can heal from PTSD of the most egregious kind.
Sir, I'm gonna tread carefully here. Because I know what you write in there can make my job harder.
Please.
This tabloid has never been opened. It's pristine. No one left it here, sir. You wanted me to see it. To get me talking. Is that accurate?
I'll ask you again, Clarice. What do you do with all your rage?
Doctor, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, this is a private session.
Doctor, I have orders to get her to...
I'm not prepared to sign off on her.
This request comes from Ruth Martin, the Attorney General of the United States of America. It's an urgent matter, and Starling is needed right now.
Why me, sir?
You don't get to ask why, Starling. Let's go pack a bag. We'll be gone a while.
What do you do with all that rage? Clarice.
Crawford.
Jack, it's Clarice. I just wanted to let you know that I've made a significant development in our hunt for Will Graham and Hannibal Lecter.
That's excellent news. What did you find?
I was undercover at a social event at Claridge's, sir. And I ran into them. They were together.
Together?
They were engaged in conversation, seemingly comfortable in each other's presence. It was unnerving, to say the least.
Do you have any idea where they might be headed?
Not exactly. I remember at one point that William Moreau stood for the bathroom. But I'll keep an eye on them and let you know if I find out anything else.
Good. Oh, and one more thing.
Yes?
Hannibal mentioned something about knowing everything about Louis' friend, except for his shoe size.
Lou's friend?
Buffalo Bill. See if you can get any information out of Hannibal Lecter.
Alana, what are you reading on?
Tattle crime. The murder husbands. Are they alive? I'm seriously considering telling Jack that I want back on the case. And then again, I'm fully aware that if I chose to that, I might be putting our family at risk.
This is the whole reason on why we're even here to begin with. Look, I know you want back on the case, and I am not objecting you for it. But to be brutally honest, I'm speaking on your behalf, not mine. If I had a choice, I'd have left this years ago the instant that I had the chance. But Lana, you keep running, chasing this thing. And soon enough, you're going to find yourself back where you flopped off.
I can't just let this go, Margot. I can't help but feel that I had something to do with this, too. And we both know that I take responsibility.
I know that you do, and I understand fully. It's just, I don't think none of this is your fault, let alone Will's. It is what it is, though.
I realize that you're worried, and you have every reason to be. But a wise man once promised me something, and he kept that promise despite my inability to trust him. All that I can do is promise you that once I'm back on the case, things will get better, and we'd no longer have to be running here running with me. I promise, and I'll keep promising until it rings true.
Hello?
Is this Freddie, Lounds?
Who is this?
My name is Clarice Starling. I'm an FBI trainee under Jack Crawford. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Jack and I go back a long way. Can I help you?
I'm working on the Buffalo Bill case. Hannibal Lecter has offered his assistance, but only if you come to see him in person.
I can be in London in a few days. Let me guess, he's on the loose.
Yes. You're gonna want to tell Jack Crawford about this.
You can make it all go away.
Put my head back, close my eyes, wade into the quiet of the stream.
If I'm ever apprehended, my memory palace will serve as more than a mnemonic system. I will live there.
Could you be happy there?
All the palace chambers are not lovely, light and bright. In the vaults of our hearts and brains, danger waits. There are holes in the floor of the mind.
Stupid. And if I didn't already have the other half of my mind right now, not so warm tight in this Albert case, then I'd be all over you like white on rice, Lounds.
You have every right to think that way. I didn't necessarily have the best therapist, if you remember correctly. Surprising. I know what this might look like to you. I saw the same face worn by Molly last week, before she took off to London without a single word.
If Molly didn't talk about leaving, then how did you know that she left?
Let's just say that I know someone who knows someone, and he knows someone.
You're speaking in riddles, and we all know where that leads us in the end. You've got 10 seconds to tell me what's going on here, or I'll have every reason to arrest you on the spot.
You have no legitimate reason to, Jack, just like before. You thought that you did, but you didn't. All you need are leads, and you're fishing with the wrong lure. Abigail was the perfect lure for Hannibal. Don't you remember? I loved writing about Hannibal and Will Graham. Every topic on title crime. It was like the reality on why I'd keep up on every one of my blogs.
Your sham blog, your sneaky nude picture of Will. We're getting entirely off topic here.
Are we?
So, are you specifying that I'm using the wrong bait, Lounds? Is that it?
If you really want to get closer than you've allowed Will to be, Jack, then yes, I am specifying that you look for much more decent bait. And by bait, I mean...
I know what you mean. Let's get to the chase here. Who did you speak to last weekend besides Molly Graham?
What?
Last weekend, Lounds. Where were you besides Molly Graham's front doorstep?
I paid a man named Albert a visit. Out of common courtesy, of course, Jack. I only wanted to get all forms of information on him that I could for title crime. Haven't you read up on any of the articles lately?
Where is he, Lounds?
I can't answer that question. I'm sorry. I can, however, point you in the right direction, if you want. I could give you a woman's number and you could get into touch with her. Her name is Clarice Starling. You could reach her by her phone number. She's a special agent from West Virginia who just recently decided to move out to London, where I do suspect that both Hannibal and Will Graham have run off too.
I already spoke with Clarice. As for Molly?
I'm sorry, Jack. Molly left for London. That's all I know. As for Albert...
Get out. Get out.
If I was to be completely honest with you, Jack, you'd have a reason to arrest me right here and right now. But I am telling the truth.
If this isn't a good enough reason to arrest you, then damn it. I will find something to put you behind bars for at the Baltimore State Hospital for the criminally insane until I can get some answers. I don't have time for games, Lounds. I gave you the opportunity to tell me. Now I want you to leave my office.
I wasn't lying when I told you that Molly fled to London in search of Will Graham.
You failed to mention Will Graham.
And usually do.
Molly's in London right now?
Last time I checked.
People will say we're in love. Self-defense. That was an especially nice touch, Will.
Yeah, I was hoping you might say that.
Yes, that was good.
Given how I hardly remember what happened, it's like the Hobbs case all over again.
Pity about poor Lounds, though. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
Lounds will have it coming.
Really is a very good explanation for all this.
I don't want to hear it.
Not just a little bit curious?
Get away from the door.
Can't let you go, Freddie. Until you've heard what I have to say. I know you're scared. You only have to be scared a moment longer. Give me the gun.
What I really want to know is, where's Hayden?
Your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
Yeah, but where is he? I know he's back in Baltimore. But is he?
I've read the case files, haven't you? Everything you need to find him is right there in those pages.
Your anagrams are showing, Doctor. Lou's friend. Iron sulfide. Also known as fool's gold.
First principles, Will. Simplicity. Read Marcus Aurelius, and of each particular thing, ask what is it in itself? What is its nature? What does he do? This man you seek.
He kills women.
No, that is incidental. What is the first and principal thing he does? What needs does he serve by killing?
Anger, social acceptance, and sexual frustration.
No, he covets. That's his nature. And how do we begin to covet, Will? Do we seek out things to covet? Make an effort to answer no.
Why not just tell me? I'm pretty sure I lost my badge of honorary hero somewhere back in Earth's erosion.
Begin by coveting what we see every day. Don't you feel eyes moving over your body, Will? And don't your eyes seek out the things you want?
Is this Lecter's handwriting? Lounds. Doesn't this random scattering of misinformation seem desperately random? Like the elaborations of a bad liar. Hannibal Lecter.
Desperately random. What does he mean?
Not random at all, maybe. Like there's some pattern here.
But there is no pattern, or the computers would have nailed it. They're even found in random order.
Random because of the one girl. The one he weighted down.
Oh, Frederica Bimmel from Belvedere, Ohio. First girl taken, third body found. Why?
Because she didn't drift. He weighted her down.
What did Lecter say about first principles?
Simplicity.
What does this guy do? He covets. How do we first start to covet?
We covet what we see.
Every day.
Damn Clarice.
He knew her.
You see?
Do I?
Hannibal, what are you doing?
I am sorry, Will.
What did you do? Hannibal.
In order for this to work, I had to numb your legs.
No, please.
Any second now, the police will come into this room, and they will arrest me. I want you to draw a clock for me. Is something wrong? Will?
What happened?
You had a nightmare.
Robertus. He was sitting there all night. Where is he? Where's Robertus?
You mean Hannibal?
Who are you?
I saved your life.
You saved my life? How?
I couldn't let you die when I saw the opportunity to rescue you. I'm Dr. Hayden.
You followed us here.
Sorry?
Where's Willy? Willy. Where is he?
Jack, please tell me everything is all right. I called about 4 times and decided to drop it.
Don't worry, I'm all right. How are things with you and the others?
We're fine. More concerned about you leaving all on your own. You're a very dedicated man, and I'm fully aware that you're stronger than some, exceedingly. But please, call me from now on.
I'm alive, just exhausted. I've been up non-stop on this case, and on top of that, barely slept in days.
It's all falling back onto you, isn't it? It's really got to you, Jack. This is the second case, oddly the same. You're wasting away. I really hope that you survive this.
I'll survive, live and thrive.
Keep me updated. I'll let you rest.
Alana, thank you. You've been on top of it all for years now, and I'm proud of you.
You're welcome, Jack.
I'm Jessica Martinez. We interrupt your regular programming for a breaking news update that has sent shockwaves through our community. Reports are coming in that the infamous murder husbands Will Graham and Hannibal Lecter, previously presumed dead, are still alive. Sources indicate that the duo, known for a string of gruesome crimes and a recent escape from authorities, has resurfaced. This revelation has left law enforcement agencies scrambling to apprehend them.
I can't believe they're still out there. It's terrifying to think they might be living among us.
I thought they were gone for good. Now, who knows where they could be hiding?
The murder husbands were believed to have perished following a cliff incident in Baltimore, Maryland, but new evidence suggests that they are in London, England. The FBI and local authorities are now working together to determine the extent of their involvement in recent incidents.
Ladies and gentlemen, I understand the gravity of this situation. We are actively investigating the circumstances surrounding Will Graham and Hannibal Lecter's reappearance. We're still piecing together the details, but rest assured our focus is on capturing these individuals and bringing them to justice. We've mobilized all available resources, and I've personally reached out to federal agencies for assistance. We're working tirelessly to ensure the safety of our citizens. Be vigilant, stay informed, and report any suspicious activity. We're committed to resolving this situation swiftly. I assure you we will not rest until these individuals are in custody.
Authorities are advising citizens to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity. If you have information on the whereabouts of William Graham or Hannibal Lecter, please contact your local law enforcement immediately. The resurrection of the murder husbands in recent Tao crime tabloids raises questions about the effectiveness of our justice system.
The public deserves the truth, Sheriff.
We will continue to provide updates on this developing story as more information becomes available. Stay tuned for further coverage on this shocking turn of events.
Has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Freddie, this is Clarice, Starling. I I've tried calling your phone a couple of times now, and it's unlike you to answer, so I'm worried. Last I heard from Ya, you had arrived in London. If you could give me a call back, please, so that I know you're still alive. Thank you.
Good morning, Jack Crawford.
Starling, Clarice, good morning. Heard you're doing well?
I would hope so, Jack. I've been working my hardest.
I'm sure you have, Starling. I'm sure you have.
Did I do something, sir?
No, not at all. Just jet lag.
I have a feeling Freddie might be missing.
Why, have you tried her phone?
Yeah, I've tried everything. Calling, texting, going to the address she sent me. Nothing.
Did she mention Graham?
No, sir. But she did mention Hannibal.
Hannibal Lecter. Robertus Gray?
Freddie told me something before she left for London a day ago. She mentioned getting answers from someone who knew Hayden.
What information?
Albert Howard Hayden. He's not our copycat. In fact, he's not a suspect at all.
How can that be resourceful? Who told Lounds that kind of information?
Our copycat. A string of murders all leading up from Virginia, Moneto, New York City, and now here. Our copycat doesn't kidnap children. He's not trying to continue a legacy of Albert Fish. He's trying to get in connection with Hannibal Lecter.
With the hounding we're getting from the media about the Bill case, the Bureau can't spare any agents right now. Listen, Starling, we don't expect them opening up. We just need to be able to say we've tried. You'll be lucky if Graham speaks more than 2 words to you. And Lecter was a top-notch psychiatrist. He knows all the usual dodges. Information packet on them. Copy of our questionnaire. It's got some information on the case, most of it's publicized. Have them get what they can from this. We'll send you with something more detailed if you get to that point.
If we do so happen to run into anything else before we find him, I'd like to go back and visit Claridge's with you and see what we can conclude.
I want this quiet. We need you to keep this to yourself. I made the mistake of letting Will Graham get too wrapped up in the bullshit. You won't have the same problem.
I won't.
After this dies down, you will attend a mandatory session with a therapist. They'll be the one to monitor your mental state. And if they think you're good to go, you can go. Otherwise, you will be put on paid leave. Do what you have to do, Clarice. I'll be at the motel.
Hannibal.
Will?
Hannibal.
You've been shot. I need you to relax.
Hannibal. I took care of her. I took care of Freddie Lounds.
Is going to hurt.
That fucking tabloid journalist tasteless. She drove up. And then Hayden.
Lean back.
A nurse.
Go!
I wanted to find Will.
The FBI killed him. Or did you?
I did.
Excellent. Had you chosen to not forgive them, Will?
I chose to not forgive them.
You forgive how God forgives.
I stopped, looked. I saw the fear in her eyes and thought of my son.
You remember asking me if God gloats?
Does God gloat?
Where were you when I needed you?
I had trusted you would take care of things on your own terms.
Don't leave me.
Where else would I go? Will.
Special Agent Clarice Starling.
Have we met?
I believe that we have. You're William Morrell, correct? That's quite the looker you got there. Did you fight an elephant by chance? Can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
I have a few questions regarding last weekend. There was a incident reported recently after what had occurred as Claridge's, referring to the statement made. You were in the coma for about a week, right?
Right.
After hearing on your release, Brandon is said to have gone missing. The social gathering host? So has Freddie Lounds.
Yeah, I remember.
I am currently attending each possible outlet that I can cross along this road outside.
That I could get answers that may lead my team and I in the right direction? There was a woman there that weekend who was stated to have been dead on arrival, along with another man in the room who had the same statement written on him. Do you recall being a witness to the murder of Molly Graham?
Yes, I was there when she held a gun to me. I thought I could convince her to lower it enough to avoid being shot.
You did not leave for the men's room?
No, I didn't leave for the restroom. I left out of curiosity, that and for the fact that I had saw my friend also take from the table beside me. I felt unnerved.
Are you telling me that you had nothing to do with the disappearance of Brandon Abram or the murder of Molly Graham? Freddie Lounds?
I did not.
Do you have anyone that can be held as witness for that?
I can.
And who would you be?
Hubertus Gray. We have met before, Clarice.
Yes, right. I'm here on behalf of...
Are you here to ask questions regarding Brandon Abram? Or are you here to evaluate the both of us to see if we're rightful for these crimes as they were?
Well, I can't hold these crimes against you because I do not have relevant information, or enough leads to evaluate and to include either of you, fortunately. I am only here to ask the both of you if either of you know anything regarding the homicide.
Yet you knew that I would be here. Did you not, Clarice?
Yes, to be honest.
Please. Let us speak. I'm in the midst of cooking a nice meal, and I'd like to have you for dinner.
I'm sorry, I don't think. I feel underdressed.
This is by no means a formal event. This is dinner, you, I, and William.
Thank you. I had never seen a dish prepared for me like this other than Claridge's, but even then, that was not a home-cooked meal.
As your mother tells you. And my mother has certainly told me it is important to always try new things. I'd like to refer to what you are eating as long pig.
He certainly makes a lot around here.
Long pig, I can't say that I've ever had long pig, except for when I was a child many years. Long story short, this is very good.
Have you ever tasted a spring lamb, Clarice?
No, I'm afraid not, Mr. Gray. I've never cared for eating lamb for personal reasons I don't wish to concern you over at the table.
I do appreciate your table mannerism, Clarice. I am terribly curious as well. Do tell us more on Brandon Abram.
I've been hunting this killer for weeks now. Seems he works on the outside in. About a month ago, I received an anonymous call by a man stating that he knew my father, which is an impossibility. I hardly knew him. Surprised even that the man would mention the slaughtering of the spring lambs and the fear that it brought to me before he fell silent. And the phone call got cut short. But with Brandon, he was going to help me find him, bring him to justice. I still just don't see how he knew so much about me.
Low-hanging fruit.
What does he do, this man you seek?
Well, he likes to skin his humps.
I gather that you know much about Buffalo Bill.
Yes, how do you know him?
I had known him through an old friend, Benjamin Raspail, whose lover had been murdered by Buffalo Bill. I irritated him much so, to the point he felt his mother hold the gun to his head as if she had the one time when he was a mere child on his home farm in Montana.
The spring lambs. I had went to live on a horse and sheep ranch in Montana with my cousins, and one evening I had woke up because I had heard this awful screaming. Like a child's voice.
What did you do?
I crept up to the barn. I was so scared to look inside, but I knew that I had to. Lambs, they were screaming. Their harsh noises filled my ears. It was so much.
They were slaughtering these spring lambs?
Yes. I tried to free them. I thought if I could save just one. But he was so heavy. So heavy. I couldn't save them then. But I will never stop trying.
You still wake up sometimes, don't you? You wake up in the dark and hear the screaming of the lambs.
Yes.
And you think if you save poor Brandon Abram, you could make them stop, don't you? You think if Brandon lives, you won't wake up in the dark ever again to that awful screaming of the lambs?
I wish that I knew the answer to that.
I wish I could say that I do. I don't know. I just don't know. Thank you for the dinner. I must be going, though. I'm sorry. I'm on business, and I really shouldn't have sat down. I'm wondering if I know you at all. I feel as though I know you. I don't understand any of this or what's going on.
You will let me know when those lambs stop screaming, won't you?
Do you know who killed Molly Graham?
Goodbye, Clarice.
Get in.
What happened?
I needed answers. I found out where he lives, and I went. I did it, Jack.
Go on.
At first, things were calm and collected. Then, before I know it, everything this man was telling me seemed to bring out these old, stored memories that I wouldn't want to tell anyone. Ever.
And then?
He almost confirmed it. But
Does this guy know anything about him?
William didn't say anything. Only Robertus knew anything about Albert, and I think he knew a little about me, too. Which scares me because I don't think that I know him at all.
You kidding me, right? That's Hannibal fucking Lecter.
He confirmed the part about Buffalo Bill. He knew enough of Buffalo Bill that it drew conclusions about me on my end. He even mentioned being a man's therapist at some point.
Clarice.
Did you say Hannibal? As in Dr. Lecter? The same psychiatrist who once had an office there in Baltimore?
Yeah, I did. I thought you knew this.
I've been studying on Lecter for about 2 years now. It rings many bells. God, it's like I was brainwashed.
Did he happen to have a man with him? Tousled-haired brunette, not nearly as tall, maybe even clean-faced? Blue-eyed?
Yeah.
And you found him. Sounds like our Will Graham. How much do you know about Buffalo Bill?
I know enough.
After the death of Molly Graham, I don't wish to see the death of Willy. Not now, not after all of this. We're going to find his kid, possibly put him into custody.
The orphanage?
Hopefully we can find a home for him, though. Maybe up for adoption.
How old is he, Jack?
Last time I heard, 11 years old. Well, we almost had him.
Why didn't you go back?
That wouldn't exactly have been the safest.
No, you're right. Wishful thinking.
We're getting ready to wire Clarice up. We're making one more pit stop in the hopes we find our guy.
Did you ever find Freddie Lounds?
No, however, we did find her vehicle. But the license plate had been swapped out with a truck with an expired registration.
Do you know who owned it?
Yeah, the guy who owned the truck is dead.
Do you think Freddie might be dead?
I think if she's not dead, she will be. Gotta go. Call me.
Okay.
Now for our culprit.
I'm wondering, if we pay a visit to Claridge's, there's bound for something to happen there. It's a public area, and if our copycat is trying to lure one of us, possibility is he's going to want to be seen.
It's worth a shot. What do you say to leaving right now?
Right now?
Right now. We put on our vests till the SWAT team finish getting wired and head on out.
Okay, let's do it.
You wired?
Yep.
All right, here's the deal. When you see him, tell me, and I call dibs. Do you know what he looks like? Well, I do. He's no picnic. Balding head. Salt and pepper hair long enough to barely reach his shoulders. Curly.
Well, Clarice, have the lambs stopped screaming?
Dr. Lecter?
Are you by any chance trying to trace my whereabouts?
Where are you, Dr. Lecter?
Don't bother with the trace. I won't be on long enough. I had plans to call on you, Clarice. The world is exceedingly now more interesting with you in it. So you take care now and extend me the same courtesy.
You know I can't make that promise.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I am having an old friend for dinner. Goodbye.
Dr. Lecter. Dr. Lecter?
Starling, what did Hannibal say?
He'll be having an old friend for dinner.
He's talking about our copycat.
He's going after Buffalo Bill?
He's leading us to him.
What's his card?
You take that portion of the house, I'll take this one. You're wired. If anything gets out of hand, we have a SWAT team for backup. Armed and ready.
FBI! You're safe!
No, please, don't leave me. Willy, we're gonna get you out of there, but right now you listen to me. There's a bad guy here, all right? I'm going to have to find him. I'll be right back.
Where is he? That guy is crazy, and I heard you talking to Willy, so where is he?
I have to find Buffalo Bill. As long as we have the SWAT team outside, everything will go fine.
Clarice, we need to stick together.
Go find Willy. He's in the back.
Everything is going to be all right, Willy.
Men are left standing, Jack. How does it make you feel?
It doesn't make me feel any taller.
It has to end here.
Hannibal, don't you dare think about doing that now.
It's either you kill me, Jack, or I will. Not only do I have to let Will go, I have to let this all go. This is my time. I can't dwell on death anymore. This is all I've ever wanted. To see things come together. I've reaped and I've sowed. I've lost and I've taken. To fill in the cracks of my own being. Take Willy, help Clarice. But do me one last favor.
Hannibal, if you do this, it'll be all over for us. This isn't the easy way out. Death isn't the answer.
That is where you're wrong. If I go, this will end. Always think of Will as the fragile little teacup that you've imagined. Jack. Please.
I can see why you love him, Hannibal.
Can't see. Can you see?
I can see just fine. Where are you?
The lights blew out from where I'm at, Jack. Did you get Willy?
And killed Louis' friend, Buffalo Bill. This was all part of the plan. Hannibal is dead. He's convinced himself enough to see for himself what he wanted Will Graham and everyone else to see. The same thing he wanted us to see, he did before finally closing his eyes. This was what he wanted, Clarice. This is what finally ties everything together.
Will? It's for you.
My dear Will, you must be healed by now, on the outside at least. I hope you're not too ugly. What a collection of scars you have. Never forget who gave you the best of them. And be grateful. Our scars have the power to remind us that the past was real. We live in a primitive time, don't we, Will? Neither savage nor wise. Half measures are the curse of it. Any rational society will either kill me or put me to some use. I hope you don't revoke your forgiveness. I decided to take the latter. I've let you take the stand. I informed Jack that he is to take care of you as his fragile little teacup. You had once told me he thought of you like the son he never had. I would empathize. Willy is the son you've never conceived. I hope you dream much, Will. I know that I am surely going to. Remember when I said to think of me often? Well, this is your beginning. Don't think of me often. Your old friend, Hannibal Lecter.
Will.
Hannibal left me a letter. The first one he'd ever sent me. I threw in the fireplace.
You have a son now, Will. You're a free man. You're not going to be sitting in a jail cell or an institution.
Was I ever free?
As free as your imagination let you be. There's always a way out of the dark places in your mind. You just have to see it to believe it. And you've seen a lot, Will. We all have. If you ever need anything, you know where to find me.
Dad?
Yeah?
I never thought you were a mean man.
I know.
I love you, Dad.
Come on.
Where are we going?
Home.
Stop the car.
Jack.
I couldn't let you leave without giving this to you.
The ring. I can't believe that he actually held on to it.
I saw it when I checked his pockets for anything, before the morgue van swept him away. Is it yours?
Yeah, it was. It was mine. I gave it to Hannibal. Honestly, I thought that he would have gotten rid of it at some point in time.
He loved you, Will.
Jack, I want to know what Hannibal told you.
He told me that this was him letting go. I thought that I could have possibly convinced him not to slit his own throat. But even as he had, I couldn't convince myself to shoot him. There was a glint in this man's eyes that told me everything there was to know.
Everything?
It was all you, Will. He brought you up and dropped you, saw to it that you were broken, and gathered you up, made sure to find reasoning in his suicide. He took the fall for you, and you took the blame.
Do you think that I'd make a good father, Jack?
It's never too late, Will. We could always find you another psychiatrist, maybe get you some help.
I think that I can make it on my own now, with just Willy and I. But you didn't answer my question. Do you think that I'd make a good father?
You somehow took care of 8 dogs. I'm sure that you know how to take care of your son, too.
I really did love him. I ached for him. I traveled halfway around the world for him. Hannibal was and always will be a part of me, but I won't allow him to get to my head like he had before. In my memory, I still see Abigail. The light, sun rays slipping through trees, and somewhere in the distance, there's an animal. It's beautiful. A stag, tall and built, but his fragility is shining like the sun, and he seems harmless. I'm still holding the fishing rod in my hand, and standing beside her. And somewhere in the great unknown, there's Molly and Willy. They're my sky, the promising blue.
Is this what you want? Is to remember?
I'll always want to remember. Can you tell Alana that I'll be wanting to keep in touch with her and Margot for as long as they let me in check?
Yes.
I forgive you.
You'd be a good father.
I'd be a wonderful father.
Go home, Will. Get yourself some rest.
If you dance, I'll dance. And if you don't, I'll dance anyway. Give peace a chance. Let the fear you have fall away. I've got my eye on you. I've got my eye on you. Say yes to heaven. Say yes to me. Say yes to heaven. Say yes to me. If you go, I'll stay. You come back, I'll be right here, like a barge at sea. In the storm, I stay clear, 'cause I've got my mind.
Why are you denying me this chance to own the radio in that fancy car?
Well, alone is good.
You're so you.
What's this?
Had it fixed. I know. But it saved your life, Clarice. If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have known to find you. So I added a bead for that. Our bead. It's your old necklace. But it's also new.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is
So you can wear it, or not. But I think you should hang on to it. We can't pretend the bad things that happened to us didn't happen.
Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me.
We can just try to turn them into something beautiful.
Take me home, country road.
Hi, Mama.